Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about a few different things you need to know before going into band building. First thing that's pretty important to know is that building isn't just one classification. There's many different parts to building that are very important to know. The first one is natural building. Natural building is building anything that's completely natural. Like for example, just get out the window here. This terrain is non-natural building. Knowing how to properly layer it to make a hill is a part of that. And on top of that, there's also two different sections. There's terrain and terraforming. The terrain is the bottom layer, the physical earth. Then after that is what goes on top, which usually consists of things like plants or the bushes. That's what is terraforming. After natural building comes unnatural building. And for example, this house behind me, which you didn't know is starter house, is a very good example of non-natural building. Whenever you're not building naturally, you always use blocks in many different categories, but you also use blocks in symmetry, because nature doesn't always have symmetry. For example, this path looks completely unsymmetrical. That's because it's not supposed to be. But this building is very straightforward, not that complicated, and also has one thing that's very important to understand. It has architecture. Architecture is one of the classifications of building. In this case, it covers the concept of building, well, buildings. Like for example, this house, or if you're building an office building, or if you're building a cemetery. That would be somewhat architecture. And the second classification of it is actually detailing. For example, let's take a look inside. Inside this house, there's many different things that would be classified as detailing. For example, that table, these party-themed flags, these chairs, that TV. Those are all classifications of detailing, which really mainly covers what's inside. So if there's anything that's super fine and small, that would be classified as detailing. However, stuff like the entire house would be architecture. And although there's really two that we mainly talk about, there's a third one that I like to call greebling. You may have heard that from, again, Lego concepts, but this one is a bit different. I actually used it in my first ever map. This is my first ever map. By the way, comment a smiling emoji if you want me to release this to you guys. But anyway, this is my first ever map, and this used a lot of greebling. The main place to notice it is in all these sort of layers. You can see a ton of different blocks, and these ones serve no purpose, so they could technically be classified as greebling, but not entirely. And by the way, this came out before the Christmas update, so it's so cool to look at with like ammunition on the train. This map is very, very old though, so it's kind of ancient. Oh, you guys should see this. This was back in the day, before the prop update. We had to make toilets by hand with gravestones, blocks, and that. And of course showers, but anyway, back to what's important. Ugh. Anyway, that is the end of, well, non-natural building. But there's still one class left we haven't talked about, and that is wiring. In fact, this map used to be FNAF 1 when I was building it. I attempted to build a sort of FNAF 1 theme, and I actually built a working power system. And sadly, I'm not an expert wirer. That's because I don't even know how to use something that you probably know how to use, which of course is variables, but I'm learning. Anyway, wiring is by far the hardest part. Whenever you're a professional building, you don't usually have to build wiring, unless you're building a complicated game mode. but it is so incredibly hard, I can't even start to describe it. Anyway, that's not all I have for you. I have one more thing before I have to let you go. The first thing is the classifications of builders, as there's many different ones. The first one that you always start at is a non-builder. This is somebody who doesn't build whatsoever, has close to 0 building blocks, and builds none a month. 0 times a month. And that is just the beginning. After that is a beginner. A beginner usually owns just a few building blocks. It doesn't build that well. They only build about 1 to 2 times a month. After that, then comes a intermediate builder, which builds anywhere from 3 to 4 times a month. They're still not in band building, but they're still pretty good. Then after that comes a pro builder. A pro builder is starting to like building. They build anywhere from 5 to 6 times a month. They own about half the building blocks in the game and are pretty good at building, although they can't build perfectly. Then we have the last. After pro builder comes expert. Expert builder is when usually you want to start focusing on BAM. And an expert builder can build very proficiently. They build up to 15 times a month, or about half the month they're building. Anyway, those people are skilled enough that they want to start going into BAM. And after that comes a huge jump. That is to professional builder, which is what I am now. A professional builder actually has something very important to go with it. They're usually a BAM builder. I have met 0 professional builders that don't do for BAM, which is pretty surprising, but it's true. Anyway, professional builder, to be classified that, has to A, beat an expert builder in a building competition. Obviously, they have to be better than them. After that, there's only a bit more stuff. The next classification is that they have to own at least 90% of all paints in the game, and most of the building blocks. They can build properly, and a few more classifications and requirements for being a professional builder. Once you're awarded that, it's a huge achievement. After that, there's only one more class that's usually never achieved, and that is a master builder. To become a master builder, you have to do 3 things. The first one is to teach an apprentice. Doesn't matter how much they qualify, has to be for around 2 to 3 days, and they have to at least rank 1 in advancement. So they have to go from pro to expert, or from beginner to intermediate, but either way, they have to at least improve in something. And the second classification is that they have to defeat a professional builder in a building competition. And the final one, which is the hardest, is winning BAM, which I've done 2 of the 3 requirements to be a master builder. Although I probably won't be one yet, doesn't mean I can't. Anyway, that's just about all I have for you guys. Thank you for watching. If you want, I'll probably post another one of these videos. Please comment if you want to see another one of them. Anyway, please consider subscribing and liking the video. It helped me out a ton. Thank you so much for watching the video. I'll see you on the next one.